p.m. agenda review session will begin now, followed immediately by the city council meeting of June 18, 2025. We have approval of minutes, report of correspondence, public hearings we don't have. We have ordinances on second reading. Number one, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 17 zoning, in regards to several proposed amendments. Number two, an ordinance to amend the redevelopment plan for the current redevelopment plan area in the city of New Brunswick. Three, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 1016, Stopping, Standing, or Parking, Scheduled Time Limit Parking on Division Street, Hardenburg Street. Four, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 1028, Residential Parking Permits, Section 1028.010, Schedule 41, Parking by Permit Only, designated residential areas in regard to Division Street and Hardenburg Street. Five is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.16, Stopping, Standing, or Parking, Section 1016.020, Schedule 24, no parking at any time in regards to adding Division Street, Hardenburg Street, and Railroad Avenue. Number six is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 8, Health and Safety, Chapter 8.33, Section 8.33020. We then have ordinances on first reading. Number one is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 1020, Handicap Parking, Schedule 39, Parking Zone for Handicapped Persons, adding 25 Bellafield Street. And number two, an ordinance to amend the redevelopment plan for the New Brunswick New Revenue 2 redevelopment plan area in the city of New Brunswick, public hearing for July 16, 2025. Number three has been pulled. We then have resolutions 1 through 36. Number one is approved agenda amendments. Two, approve payroll. Three, authorize refund for redeemed tax sale certificates. Four, authorize tax collector to transfer overpayments on several tax and utility accounts. Five, authorize application and acceptance of grant for fire department. Six, authorize application and acceptance of grant for the fire department. Seven, approve request for use of city property requested by Legwork for Lungs for a 5K mile walk for lung cancer research. Number eight is approve request for resolution or a solicitation of funds requested by Legwork for Lungs to benefit the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Number nine is approved request for use of city property requested by Good Deeds Food Pantry for private picnic at the youth sports complex. 10 is approved request for use of city property requested by the New Brunswick Recreation Department in Boyd Park. Number 11, approved request for street closing and use of city property requested by the Veterans Alliance of Raritan Valley for the Veterans Day Memorial Parade. Number 12 is approved request for use of city property and street closure requested by the New Brunswick Recreation Department for the Bike Rodeo Location Recreation Park. 13, approved request for use of city property, New Brunswick Recreation Department for Choice Gilmer Drive, school supply giveaway. 14 is approved request for use of city property, street closing and use of city sidewalk by the United Methodist Church of New Brunswick for their annual diversity Thanksgiving service and outdoor seating sit-down lunch. Number 15 is approved request for use of city property and city sidewalk requested by Prevent Child Abuse New Jersey for a 5K run and walk to raise money for preventing child abuse in New Jersey. 16 is approved amendment of resolution R062451, regional one-year contract extension with Public Synergies Corporation for insurance brokerage services. 17 is approved agency liquor license renewal. 18 approved renewal of liquor license with conditions for 26 liquor license for the Gala Cafe and Restaurant, incorporated trading as the Gala Cafe and Restaurant. 19 approved request for use of city property and street closure requested by the New Brunswick Cultural Center for the 6th Annual Art Festival promotion photo shoot at the park location Monument Square Park. 20 approved request for use of city property, street closure, and use of city sidewalk requested by the Brunswick City Market for the 2025 Oktoberfest. 21 is approved agreement with Aetna Life Insurance Company for stop loss coverage for Aetna Medical Plan and CVS Caremark prescription plan. 22 is approved agreement, managed care fees, medical administration, and PPO maintenance fee with Aetna US Healthcare, traditional and POS. 23, approve agreement of claims payment with Aetna US Healthcare, traditional and POS. 24, approve request for street use, requested by New Brunswick City Market for Christmas in July, George Street between Church Street and Madison. 25, approve award of contract for laboratory analysis for the water utility with Garden State Laboratories Incorporated, not to exceed $35,000. 26, release a site performance guarantee to MINA Romeo for 20 Joyce Miller Avenue. 27, release of site performance guarantee to Resident Brunswick Realty LLC. 28, approve resolution to refer the new Resident 2 redevelopment plan to the planning board for review and report. 29, resolution authorizing disposition of decommissioned 1995 Spartan Marine fire engine. 30, approve award of contract with Target Solutions Learning LLC doing business as Vector Solutions, proprietary software for the fire department. 31 is approved amendment of resolution R022518, reason to extend the contract for one additional year with Analytical Services LLC, not to exceed $6,000. Garden State Laboratories, not to exceed $25,000, with Pace Analytical Services Incorporated, not to exceed $26,000 for contaminant analysis for the water utility. 32, approve amendment of resolution R032421. The reason is additional amount of $43,283 with French and Brillo Associates PA for engineering services for Rutgers Village water main replacement project. 33, approve amendment of resolution R012573. Additional amount of $147,727.55 with Mott McDonald LLC for 2025 engineering and support services for the water utility. 34, approve renewal of liquor license with conditions for 25-26 liquor license year for La Famosa Incorporated trading as La Famosa. 35, approve award of contract with Reavax Contracting Corporation for the Rutgers Village water main replacement project, phase 8. 36, authorize application and acceptance of technical assistance for the Department of Planning, Community, and Economic Development with the North Jersey Transportation Authority. And then items for discussion by council and public comment. Dates to remember, our next city council meeting is Wednesday, July 2nd at 5 p.m. Followed immediately by the city council meeting. And we call to order.
Councilmember Escobar. Here. Councilmember Ferguson is absent. Councilmember Fleming is absent. Councilmember Gaskins. Here. Councilmember Secor Ludwig. Here. Council Vice President Castaneda.
Here.
Council President Anderson.
Here. Please be advised that those requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act have been complied with and satisfied, and that the annual notice, which gave sufficient notice of the time and place and conduct of all public meetings of the Municipal Council of the City of New Brunswick, has been filed with the City Clerk, has been placed on the appropriate bulletin board at City Hall, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the City of New Brunswick, namely the Home News. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a moment of silence for our men and women, our military services, our fire, police, and EMTs, who all do a fantastic job without certainly a lot of pay. Thank you.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins. Yes. Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. Madam Clerk, as the correspondence have been directed to the appropriate departments.
Yes, Council President, the correspondence received by the City Clerk's Office was forwarded to the appropriate departments for further action.
We have no public hearings. We have ordinances for discussion on second reading. Number 1 is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 17, zoning, in regards to several proposed amendments. Mr. Dominguez, can you do not hear what that's about?
Thank you, Council President. So a quick rundown of this. This ordinance achieves 3 things, this amendment. One is that it brings our industrial parking requirements in line and competitive with our neighbors, and so that we, if our suburban and rural neighbors can have lighter parking requirements for warehouses and other industrial uses. Us, with our relative walkability and our transit infrastructure, can certainly at least match them in those numbers. And so we would be looking to do that to make sure we're not missing out on investment by having more onerous than necessary requirements on that front. Secondly, we are allowing for properties with corner lots to be able to have multiple frontages, I guess you'd be on a corner if you have multiple frontages, to be able to have more than one driveway in and out, so you can have one on each frontage essentially. And lastly, about 21 years ago, the city prohibited residential areas front yard parking in front of the house, directly in front of the house. But the language that created permission to do that was never struck from the ordinance. And so as part of this broader, parking driveway related amendment, we went in and we surgically removed those segments of the ordinance so that they're not languishing there and creating confusion with would-be applicants.
All right, we're about to open it up for public on number one. If anybody has anything up to 5 minutes, need to discuss for the record. Seeing none.
Second.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castellano.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. Number two is an ordinance to amend the redevelopment plan for the current redevelopment plan area in the city of New Brunswick. Do any of my fellow council members have questions or comments on this ordinance?
Council President, I have realized an issue with this redevelopment plan. Looking at the sites on Patterson Street, the existing lot sizes are not 100 feet deep. And I think that it needs to be modified in this redevelopment plan, and I would ask if Mr. Dominguez could give us his opinion on that.
Thank you. That's not something I'd considered in the past, but now that you mention it, that actually makes quite a bit of sense. That some of those parcels are pretty short, and if we left it at 100 feet, it could actually be a problem for H3 as a minor variance, and it probably would be prudent to shrink the required depth to probably, if I want a comfortable number, I'd say maybe 85 feet to make sure that there isn't any problems with the application.
Okay.
Well, in light of Councilwoman Socorro Ludwig's request, that particular issue can be amended in the redevelopment plan as we sit here today. The procedure with respect to this matter would be that the council would have to vote to amend the redevelopment plan that's before it. Once that particular vote is carried, assuming it's carried, then we would open up to the public the ordinance on second reading to adopt the redevelopment plan as amended. So at that time, you have the ordinance considered for the public and for the council, which would adopt the redevelopment plan with that small tweak, if you will. So if the council is so inclined, it sounds like Mr. Dominguez is in favor of it, you would need to entertain a motion to amend the redevelopment plan that's before you in connection with O-06-2502 to reduce those lot sizes, I guess, on Patterson Street to 85 feet.
I'll make a motion to approve as amended, or to make the amendment, the changes.
I'm so sorry, I don't hear the motion. Can someone just in layman's terms explain to me the difference of just 15 feet?
Because, well, Danny, would you like to do it?
I would if Ms. Gaskins can just repeat the question, I didn't hear.
So can you just, in layman's terms, what is the difference, this 15 feet provided?
Well, the existing parcels right now on Patterson Street that are likely to be incorporated into H3, I don't think that they're 100 feet deep, now that Ms. Socorro Ludwig mentioned it. And so the proposal, when it came through, would not be compliant with the requirements of the plan if we still required 100 feet of depth, because it physically is impossible for them to do so.
You feel satisfied that 85 feet is good?
Yes, absolutely, for the type of project that they're trying to do, I think absolutely.
Thank you.
Somebody hear a second?
Second.
Councilmember Escobar,
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin,
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig,
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda,
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. Do we have an ordinance to amend the redevelopment plan for the Farrar redevelopment plan area of the city of New Brunswick as amended just now? Any more council members have anything to say on that? Okay, again, we'll open it up to the public.
Council President, if I may, just give a quick rundown of the changes, broadly
Sure.
speaking.
Yes, please.
Thank you. So the fair redevelopment plan, otherwise known as, you might know it better as the Helix and the subsequent projects, we went and we amended it, and amended today, for some minor tweaks for H3. We extended the distance that a parking deck can be from the building in order to be used for parking for the parking demand for the building. We updated some maps and the cover sheet, which are essentially minor and irrelevant issues. We readjusted the bike parking standard to be more in line with something realistic for the building, but still provide significant amounts of bike parking. And we added some language in here, because when the plan was originally envisioned, close to a decade ago at this point, we didn't really know how the pedestrian walk of the complex would look like. And now that the Paseo's been approved and it's been laid out, we put in language there essentially saying the Paseo meets the vision of what was intended with this pedestrian walk area, and we don't need to use the criteria that was there in the plan before, because it envisioned sort of like an X cross, well, like a plus sign crossing through the site, which isn't really viable anymore, but the Paseo more than meets the vision of what was intended there. And that, broadly speaking, those are the highlights of the changes to the plan.
Okay, thank you. Councilor, preparing to open it up for the public's comments. If you have any, please come to the microphone, give your name and address. For the record, you have up to 5 minutes and 1 time up.
Good evening, Charlie Cradaville, Stam Street, Brunswick today. I wanted to get some more details on the extension of the distance for parking. What is the distance and what will the distance be?
Sure. So the plan as it is prior to this amendment, should the council act favorably, was 800 feet. And we've extended it to a quarter mile, which is considered still pretty walking distance. Most of the decks are within the 800 feet, but we wanted to provide enough latitude if necessary to accommodate the users of the building, but still within walking distance.
So, Mr. Dominguez correctly states that many structured parking facilities are within the quarter mile distance. Are there any plans that any of you or Mr. Dominguez might be aware of to build additional parking, either in connection with this project or not, in that quarter mile?
So the other redevelopment plan that's on for tonight for introduction does envision an additional parking deck. I can't say conclusively if it's within a quarter mile, but I think it is. But the H3, right now the envisioning for the parking for H3 is at the wellness deck, which is where H1 and H2 are, plus the space at the pack deck. But I wanted to give the development as much latitude as possible, but those are the intended sites for parking for H3.
I appreciate that answer, and I will follow up when we get to the next redevelopment plan. For H3, like what type of parking demand is contemplated? It's, hundreds of units, or how many folks might be bringing their car there every day? Do we have an idea?
I couldn't tell you what the parking requirement for the building is, but there's multiple floors of office and probably around 250 housing units Plus or minus 30 envisioned. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it looks like.
Fair enough. I think that's all the questions on this ordinance.
Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none?
The ordinance.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. Number 3 is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 1016, Stopping, Standing, or Parking, Section 1016.050, Schedule 29, Time Limit Parking. This is in regards to Division Street and Hardenberg Street. Any of my fellow council members have any questions or comments? Okay, again, we're prepared to open up to the public, up to 5 minutes, one time up for this one. Seeing none?
The ordinance.
Second.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. Number 4 is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 1020, Residential Parking Permits, Section 1028.010, Schedule 41, Parking by Permit Only in Designated Residential Areas. This is in regard to Division Street and Hardenberg Street. And my fellow council people have anything to say on that? Okay? Again, we'll open up to the public, one time up to 5 minutes. If your name and address just for the record.
Charlie Bradwell, 143 Sedan. It seems like the last one you approved, you instituted time-limit parking, and you're taking away the permit parking that was on these blocks, is that correct?
Lefty.
Yes, Mr. Council President, ordinances ending in 503, 504, and 505, excuse me, with the exception of Railroad Avenue, reflect the new configuration of the parking on both Division and Hardenberg as a result of the Cancer Institute. In some, originally, these are currently codified until we amend the ordinance for residential parking the entire length. Although you had the St. Peter's High School and the St. Peter's Grammar School, those were basically teachers used during the day. So essentially, what we're doing is we have pulled back a little bit on the residential because there are now several homes have been eliminated along Division Street, particularly on the side where the entrance into the service basement of the parking structure and the Cancer Institute are. Excuse me. So yeah, we did shrink a little bit on the residential. We codified no parking anytime for the areas where the trucks need to be able to do their swings to offload the liquid nitrogen and other things that the Cancer Institute needs to. And then we added a short piece basically on Hardenberg and Division where the teachers used to park for both the high school and when it was the middle school. And so those are now going to be hourly parking.
When you say hourly, you mean like a meter?
It'll be by park mobile.
Parking only. Okay, were any of the homeowners or renters on these streets consulted or informed, notified of this ordinance?
Certainly.
Yes, several. We spoke to several homeowners, both on Division and Hardenberg. And again, they had no objection to it. And particularly Mr. Blevins, who was very vocal here as well, and he seemed very satisfied with that.
Okay, when you say several, was it an organized outreach, or this was just ad hoc, came up with a few people?
Certainly it was not organized, it was ad hoc, but of course, we dealt with either landlords or direct homeowners.
Okay, I do, I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Anybody else on that? Seeing none?
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. Number 5 is an ordinance to amend and supplement revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 1016, Stopping, Standing, or Parking, Section 1016.030, Schedule 24, no parking at any time, adding Division Street, Hardenberg Street, and Railroad Avenue. Mr. Valenti, you want to explain that?
Sure, this is the last follow-up. Railroad Avenue is just uniquely that we added this only because it was the same schedule. We had an issue recently where cars are parking on the railroad right by either Howard or Ward Street, and they impede the ability for our sanitation trucks and also fire engines to navigate the railroad, so that's why that's there. The division in Hardenberg referred to the areas immediately adjacent to the New Cancer Institute, particularly in division where they have to enter the trucks for either to get to the service basement and or there's liquid nitrogen oxygen tanks that we leave on division. Likewise on Hardenberg alongside the Cancer Institute, there's a section prior to the garage entrance, so we have enough sightline visibility. And then from that portion to Somerset is really intended to be an ambulatory drop off and pick off. So that's why that's it.
Public comment. Okay, we're about to open it up to the public again, same rule apply for 5 minutes, one time up. Seeing none?
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. And number 6 is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 8, Health and Safety, Chapter 833, Section 833.030. Mr. Shannon, can you give us a rundown on that?
Yes, Mr. Council President, members of council, this particular ordinance amendment is a amendment to our no smoking ordinance, as council recalls. Several months ago, you adopted a no smoking ordinance. This particular provision would prohibit smoking in those portions of George Street that are closed and designated for dining along that George Street corridor during the closure only. This would apply just to that particular roadway area that's closed, not the sidewalk area, not the side streets, just the designated dining areas or the portion of George Street that's actually closed to vehicular traffic. The intent of the ordinance is so that diners in that particular area can enjoy dining without smoke in that particular area. And submitted for your consideration on second reading is this subsection 4. Same fines and penalties under our ordinance would apply for a violation.
Thank you. Do my fellow council people have any questions or comments on this ordinance?
I just want one clarification. You said two different things, Mr. Shanley. At one point you just said that it's the dining areas only, and then you said the extension of all the closed portion of George Street. It is just the dining areas on George Street.
The dining areas on George Street which are closed, not the sidewalk
And if
areas.
there's no, say, portions of George Street that do not have dining, they do not fall under this.
Correct.
Anybody else? Okay, we're about to open it up to the public for this ordinance only. Up to 5 minutes. Senator Obama. Seeing none?
Move the ordinance. Second.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. We then have ordinances on first reading. Number 1 is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 1020, Handicap Parking, Section 1020.010, and Schedule 39, Parking Zones for Handicapped Persons, adding 25 Delafield Street.
I move the ordinance setting down July 2nd, 2025 at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised. Second.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. And number 2 is an ordinance to amend the redevelopment plan for the New Brunswick redevelopment, 2 redevelopment plan areas in the City of New Brunswick. Public hearing July 16, 2025.
I move the ordinance setting down July 16th, 2025 at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised.
Second.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda.
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
held. We then have resolution 1 to 36. Do my council members have anything on the resolutions that they want to comment or question on? Okay, seeing none, we're about to open it up to the public for the resolution part. Same idea, you have up to 5 minutes, one time up. Please give us the number of the resolution you're talking about, so we can follow through, and your name and address for the record. We appreciate it. Thank you. Yes.
Good evening again, Charlie Prattville, 143 Sedan. 541 is a grant, safer grant. Do you know how much approximately?
Number
Yeah, page 1 at the bottom. From FEMA.
Sure. Council President, this is a safer grant for the hiring of 6 firefighters, approximately 1.1 million. But it's not complete yet.
Right,
This is for the application to be sent.
understood, thank you. 556, Symetra Life Insurance. Can you tell me, yeah, first of all, the life insurance, I presume is for staff, for employees? Or,
number 21, right?
yeah, I'm using the last 3 digits, 556.
Okay, Mr. Goldberg.
Sure. Just as a clarification, it's not Symetra, it's Aetna. Symetra was our last stop, loss insurance. We're changing from Symetra to Aetna.
Okay. It says Symetra in the resolution.
Okay.
At the bottom.
Well, we're changing, yeah.
Right, so that's correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and it's part of our stop loss insurance for both our Aetna medical insurance and our CVS prescription insurance.
Okay, maybe you could educate me, what is stop loss?
Sure, it's kind of, what happens is we're a self-insured plan. So if this number starts to go in excess of what we're anticipating, their stop loss insurance will reimburse the city.
So they basically insure the fund.
Yeah, it's a reinsurance company.
Reinsurance. Okay. Thank you for that explanation. I do see another insurance item, 558 here. It's 15 million bucks. Also Aetna. I see the sort of last half of 2025 is only 5.7 million, but the first half of 2026 is 9.5 million. What's the reason for the discrepancy there?
We're talking about number 23 on that one, 558.
558, yes.
And Mr. Goldberg.
Sure, those are just our anticipated numbers based off both our 2025 budget and going to 2026.
So you're anticipating a 30% increase in the cost of insurance next
No,
year?
it's
or-
because the way the numbers work from last year also, so 2024 we did the same thing.
It's always lopsided?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Understood, thank you for clarifying.
Sure.
A few more to ask about. Let's go to 563, that other redevelopment plan. I need to know about the parking structure. Where would it be, how many spaces, and what for?
That's number 28, I think. Mr. DeVito.
Thank you, Council President. The number of spaces is to be determined. It will go on the, I guess what people call the Mayfair lot, and where the county engineer's office used to be. Both of those parcels are owned by the Brunswick Parking Authority, and that would be the site of the new parking.
It's interesting, whose idea was this? It's the developers, the cities, the parking authority? Who is it that wants to build this garage on the Mayfair lot?
To the best of my understanding, the city and the parking authority are looking to add additional public parking in the city, and that is probably the most optimal spot, given that it's already owned in a big open lot for development. It's probably the most optimal place to put a parking deck.
Oof, boy, well, talk about things we don't need in New Brunswick, another parking deck. I really think that there are a lot of things we need in New Brunswick, right? We need a community center, we need housing, we need lots of stuff. And I agree, this is one of the last big pieces of real estate near the train station, near the French Street neighborhood. And I think it would be a big mistake to double down on being the parking deck capital of New Jersey and build another, especially if it's our parking authority that has to borrow to build it. So at this point, if this project, this redevelopment plan includes another parking deck, a new parking deck for New Brunswick, I would ask you to vote no on this. Are you open to doing that? Do you share my concerns about, you know, overbuilding parking?
No, I don't, no.
You think we don't have enough? You think we need more structured parking?
When people say we don't have enough parking.
Well, what do you say? What do you think? Do you think we
I think it's
need
good.
more structured parking, more,
This is good,
Yeah.
good parking, yeah, I think it's okay.
and you don't think it should be mixed use? You don't think there should be other development associated with it, just a parking deck in the
I think that's all coming in good time.
okay, well, is it in the plan?
I hope so.
Okay, we are being asked to approve the plan. I ask you to vote no, respectfully.
Yes.
Hi there, April McLaughlin from Three Sedan Street. I wanted to ask about the final resolution on the agenda, number 36.
I'm sorry, what number?
36, that's the
36.
last one on the list. Just wondering if someone can provide some more insight on what Brunswick's vision would be for transit infrastructure if an application was successful.
Dominguez?
Yes, thank you, Council President. So essentially, we are applying to NJTPA for this emerging centers program. It's not really a grant, it's technical assistance. And the way we're approaching this is that we are asking them to help put together a study/plan of viable, actionable, transit-oriented infrastructure projects that we can then use as springboards to apply for the Transit Village Initiative funding that rolls out every year. We've had challenges getting our thoughts together on the best way to approach those fundings, and by bringing in NJTPA as experts, we could hopefully, if they're, if they act favorably and award us this assistance, that they'll help us put together a study over the next 18 months or so that will then roll out significant infrastructure investment.
And I just want to clarify the focus of this planning process is public transit, things like trains and buses. It's not exploring any additional things in terms of like highways and parking decks and other car-based infrastructure. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, this is all tied to the Transit Village Initiative, which only really funds things like that. Specifically, we're looking at ways to improve connectivity to the train station and to the bus network that's nearby, via pedestrian access and other methods. We're sort of opening it up and having NJTPA hopefully shed some really cool ideas into what we can do with that to apply for with those Transit Village funds that will improve that the access and the usability of the train and the bus service and all that stuff downtown.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on the resolutions? Seeing none?
Move resolutions.
Second. Councilmember Escobar,
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin,
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig,
Yes.
Council Vice President Castaneda,
Yes.
Council President Anderson.
Yes. We have council, anybody have anything to say?
I just want to invite the public and everyone to more or less the weekend celebration of the Brunswick Performing Arts. Starts at 4,
Yeah.
4 to 8, right?
So there's actually a whole litany of.
Yeah, activities. Yeah, there's at 3 o'clock there's a mural, I believe, so, 11 to 3. There's a mural that they're going to do in front of the, yeah, and also Saturday is the 18th, every year, parade out to the convention development, so, which are members of the Brunswick Fire Department, so join us.
Anybody else? Well, I'm sure by the next council meeting, most of our schools will be closed, so there'll be a lot of students up and around and everything, so please take it easy as you drive. Try to drive defensively if you can. If you see any kids, give them the benefit of the doubt, please. Okay. We're about to open up the portion to the public comment for people. Again, you have up to 5 minutes, one time up. Please give your name and address for the record, and please address the council president.
Good evening, my name is Linda Stork, I live at 12 Park Boulevard, and I came to inquire about the proposed resolution in favor of the New Jersey Climate Superfund Act. My understanding is that the Environmental Commission thought it was a good idea and passed it along to the council at least a month ago. So I'm wondering, I guess everybody has had a chance by now to look it over, and what happened with that?
And, Mr. Shannon?
My understanding that the proposed resolution was forwarded to the council. At this particular point in time, I don't believe there was a consensus to move forward with adopting a resolution in favor of that.
We're still discussing it, basically.
All right, so I have maybe a little update. We have since been back to Trenton, pushing for it, and our Senator Smith, who is the principal sponsor of the bill, has once again implored us to please get our cities and towns to sign on. And over 40 have, but my hometown has not, so I'm here to implore you to please help Senator Smith out, make his job a little easier by showing that there's broad support for getting the polluters to pay the cost of what they knowingly inflicted on us. Because surprise, surprise, it's turning out that they knew as far back as the 50s what the consequences of continuing to use and promote and expand the use of fossil fuels. They knew about the weather consequences. They knew about the health consequences. And yet they pushed forward because they could make billions of dollars doing that. And the taxpayers are left holding the bag for the expenses for all of these, incredibly high health and climate. This would allow us to do things such as, flood mitigation, which is becoming increasingly a problem, and anything that would help with these disastrous consequences, we would be able to apply to get part of this fund to do it. There would be billions of dollars available. New York did it already. And the biggest fossil fuel companies would be responsible for helping us foot the bill and not leaving it all on the taxpayers. So I cannot see the downside of doing it. If there are people who aren't sure that it's a good thing, maybe we could get together with some of the climate experts and talk about it.
Isn't Senator Smith having to get together or something? Does anybody remember reading that?
But could I know what the objections were to signing off on this?
Does anybody want to say?
I mean, I am required to say per set of ethics rules, I am unable to comment on legislation pending for the New Jersey Senate in my capacity as counsel. So I cannot.
Oh, okay. All right, because it seems kind of like a no-lose situation. It's really a win-win for us to get this passed. And if Senator Smith says, passing a resolution can help, then I would like to see my city do that.
Second. Anybody else? Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Charlie. I will be taking matters guiding with this one. Actually, I'll just do it that way. No, I don't get it, but my arm is too bad. I guess that I'm gonna have that done. I'll just go live with it. Sure. Thank you for your help, Charlie. Now, due to where, let me go by with this, because I don't appreciate what the hell is going on, and I really don't. First of
all, Danielle Moore, I just gave you a statement that stated, June 11, 2025, from, Lieutenant, Nicholas DeFalco, saying they want to investigate what I put in my tort claims on 6/9/2025. Why should I even trust Nicholas DeFalco from Internal Affairs, and Ms. Shaw from Internal Affairs, Detective Joseph Russell for Middlesex County Internal Affairs, when they claimed that, okay, my tort claim was not good because of what Internal Affairs said, which was a lie. When I filed a lawsuit against Detective Keith Walcott after he accused me of doing something I didn't do, oh, I can charge you with the mace that you had, and what? See, everything happens for a reason. The situation with Lillian Moore, where I did not spray her with mace first, due to where we went to family court with the body cameras from the police department from 51 Remsen Avenue, where I'm going to get to the part where the officers lied. The judge said what? I used the mace for self-defense. Lillian Moore put her hands on me. The same mace that was what Keith Walcott said was illegal. How did it get returned to me? And I have it on body camera, but I put it up on Facebook as well. That what? It's legal. So why should I even trust Internal Affairs? And now I'm going to get to the part with, honestly, Carlos Ramirez and New Brunswick Police Department saying due to where what? I OD'd on oxycodone due to where what? With the EMS and fire trucks coming into my house, and if the 3 firemen are honest enough to say that black EMS, the same one that was on scene with Lillian Moore, where what? The first thing she said was, ooh, I see Narcan. She goes in my medication bag and only pulls out oxycodone. I was taken to the hospital. A blood test wasn't even damn done. I was injected with something. Why? Because they wouldn't even treat me, because for the first time after that was May 20th, when I put up on Facebook, I won't ever trust New Brunswick Police Department again, even being as a damn victim, after I finally looked at the body cameras due to where it's heartbreaking, Renavi Martinez, due to where he's lieutenant now, and Officer Rodriguez, where I'm damn unconscious on the ground. He raises my arm up, keep back and forth due to her thinking I'm damn faking. What, then Renavi says, ooh, lying on me, and what the hell does New Brunswick Police Department do? You change your body cameras, and are you council members responsible for this as well? Yes, because all you do is vote yes on the whatever they receive to help the police department. Yes, you are responsible too. How dishonest, like I said, everything happens for a reason. And like I said, the seagulls too, and ever since I said, ooh, I won't ever trust New Brunswick Police Department again, have I been getting served correctly from Robert Wood Johnson or St. Peter's? What, for the past 5 times I've been to the emergency room between fumes, outside of my house, dealing with what Danielle almost killed last night, do I see dealing with New Brunswick Police Department, and now the construction worker that's in front of Somerset Street, where I'm not the only one smelling damn gas in front of my house. What, to try to kill me now? You put a chip in my body, have everybody running the hell away from me like I'm doing something, where Carlos Ramirez put that up on Facebook, took it down, due to where what? The only reason why they put a damn chip in me, which is illegal, is because what? The lawsuits that do with their own body cameras, what? It shows what they did, and then what the hell they changed it to. Please. And do you think I should ever even really want to trust New Brunswick Police Department again? And I'm speaking from the bottom of my damn heart. Are you responsible as well? Yes, you are. You better start looking into what you are saying yes to, what technology that you're using to. Last time, due to where what? You put me out of here, Jamal James grabbed me. Oh, hurt my damn arm again, due to where I don't care about no fight. This has been people tracking me every time you see me, every time damn store I go to, smelling perfume, what to see if I will pass out if I'm a drug dealer. Well, good. Like I said, I don't care. You just put me up. Like I said, I have the evidence from my doctor stating what I just was prescribed oxycodone 527, and what this happened 529 to the hospital. So how the hell did I OD and I still got the same amount of drugs?
Thank you.
And like I said, John Anderson, you will have your day because you do not treat people equal. Are you going to put your hands on me again? Huh? Like I said, what? Devils. And like I said, everything happens for a reason, and believe me, all of you that have participated in it, you will see it happen to your day as well, because God doesn't like ugly.
Thank you.
I'm tired of the harassment from New Brunswick Police Department, and you support it. Please get away from me. Like I said, I don't trust New Brunswick Police Department damn near me. Like I said when I called the ambulance, is that why she damn lied and said good to wear what? Now what? Every time? Please, just get away from me. Like I said, you're involved as well. Good. Good what? Because I'm damn black. Do they tell anybody else to grab anybody else to get out of here? No, you don't. But I will. Goodbye.
Come on, go.
Good evening once again. Start by wishing everybody a happy Juneteenth, and thanks to Cheryl and everybody who puts on the parade in our neighborhood. We really love it and looking forward to being a part of it this year. City M Street, another life was lost in a motor vehicle crash, I believe, over the weekend. Can you provide any information?
Captain, anything?
Yes, sir. That accident has been closed. No charges. It was a simple, unfortunate, tragic accident.
Okay. I was looking for a press release on that. Was there a press release? Does the police department still do press releases?
I guess when they can, or nothing.
I'm not for any press release.
Does the police department do press releases? I went to look on the website. I couldn't even find the section anymore.
I'm sure they do sometimes when they feel it's necessary.
Okay. Well, I think when there's a loss of life, especially on one of our major streets, it would make sense to inform the media. I do. Can you look into that though and see if they still do press releases? Because it's been a long time since I got one from the city specifically. I know the county does them for serious crimes, but I'm not seeing anything from the city anymore in a while. And as you know, there's been a change in leadership at the police department. Affordable housing. I saw the mayor speak to some youth at the new development where the Sears used to be. And, I know you're all aware that that is a big development. I call it a mega development, like 700 plus units, and none of them affordable. And the mayor, in his remarks, expressed that, basically he wants affordable housing in downtown only. That he thinks that other neighborhoods aren't as good for having affordable housing because they don't have the access to transportation or the county government, campus, or other services and businesses in the downtown. And I guess I approach it differently. I'd like to see every neighborhood be able to have good transportation, rather than saying only one of our neighborhoods is capable of holding affordable housing because all the others don't have good transportation. Where do you come down on this? What do you think? Should we have affordable housing in every neighborhood? Should we have transportation, public transportation in every neighborhood?
I think there should be affordable housing where you can have it.
Okay, how about public transportation? Do you think that, a place like that, Russo's development on Route 1, should they have public transportation, or are we just going to assume everybody's got to have a car to get around?
No, if it can be done, I'm sure they'll do it.
I don't think that's the case. I think that there was an opportunity that this city had to make them do it and make them have a more inclusive and connected neighborhood, and you specifically chose not to. So, I would like to see things move in a different direction. I'm very concerned to hear today confirmation of this rumor that there's a new parking deck proposed for New Brunswick. I I just asked about this at the parking authority and it was downplayed. They said, oh, it's been informally discussed. But now we're hearing it like it's a done deal, like it's the city government and the parking authority on board with it, when, things are being done backwards here in terms of redevelopment. We wait for the developer to tell us what they want, and then we change all the plans to match what they want to do. And I think we need to stop doing that. We need to stop putting developers first, put our communities first, our neighborhoods first, and cramming another parking deck into this area is not going to do anything for anybody except make money for the same people who've been making money off of us for a long time. And I think that you really did the wrong thing by voting for that today, and I hope that when it comes back to you in the future, that you think twice about doubling down on this car culture and this parking, because you're right, some people don't think there's enough parking, but are they gonna pay $3 an hour or more to park in these decks? Unlikely. These decks mostly serve visitors and workers from outside New Brunswick, not the actual residents, and we've got an abundance of them. We've got so many of them. We've got more public parking garages than any other city in New Jersey, and we're a small city relatively. We've got about 55,000 residents according to the latest census. Why do we have so much more parking than anybody else? And why are we continuing to do that even though we've seen the problems that come as a result when you try to redevelop those sites and the way it's been harming New Brunswick? Why do you want to double down on parking and car culture? Council President.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
I welcome a response if you have.
Hello, April McCluskey, 53 Sedan Street. First off, I want to echo some sentiments expressed by earlier speakers. I certainly agree that the Climate Superfund Act is a very important piece of legislation that would do our residents a lot of good, and I would like the council to act on that and not just sit passively by and wait for someone else to solve our problems. We need to take action for ourselves. I also certainly agree with the comments made about needing affordable housing and transit access for all of our people, not just whoever happens to be living in downtown. Even if there might be targeted plans for where it's strategic to place affordable housing, the reality is that many of the neighborhoods in our city already are populated by low-income people, many of whom do not have access to cars, and so limiting the vision to just be make downtown accessible, make downtown affordable, and then forget about the rest of them, I would agree, very backwards, and we need to do better. But my main question that I have tonight is follow up on something I brought up at the previous meeting, asking if there's an update on pedestrian safety infrastructure. Last meeting I asked about that in relation to the fatal hit and run at the corner of City and Lee. And Mr. Droulis had indicated that that matter had been referred to the Traffic Commission, so I'd like an update on what the discussions have been on what we do to solve that problem.
Do you have any update?
I'd be glad to provide you one for the next meeting.
We'll have it at the next meeting.
Okay. Well, I'm certainly hopeful for a robust update there, because this is also, as we know, a tragic and ongoing problem, and one that isn't going to solve itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Seeing none?
Councilmember Escobar?
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin?
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig?
Yes.
Council Vice
What do you
President
have a
Castellano?
tracker on me for?
Council Vice President
Yes.
Castellano? Council President Anderson?
Yes, meeting
Like I
adjourned.
said, I have the video with my doctor to where I didn't OD off of those damn oxycodone, and I